Actually, you don't have to.
Name is
Tracy,
Delano.
Block Island Buddy.
Really,
They wanted to cover space and look at the
Dean
Tracy
Sharp.
and Block Island Buddy. So
What did you charge you? 16 an hour.
that's the big deal. One to a left.
You get out the less. I can
Yes,
tell.
yes.
By the expression.
No, I bought 35 lots, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Well, that's what you had for so long. You charge 16 an hour.
16.
60. 60.
How much the next?
Okay, then I don't.
That's what the carpenter,
Oh, okay, all right.
But what does he
I
do?
got a couple more checks. coming
anything
down.
and everything.
Uh,
Carries everything to the basement,
Okay, all right.
puts the furniture away,
Yeah, that's
this
exactly.
kind of stuff. And
That's fine.
he hung up stuff for me.
And they're here year round, so in the winter he could come.
Yeah.
I'm sure neither of them have winter work.
Well, I know that now that the rental season is over because of all this, well, I know, you know, Valley Hall and, Sullivan used them a lot,
Right.
and I'm sure that the word is spread around. But
Yeah. Yeah,
So who's this you're using?
his name is Delano. I'll send you his.
Yes, because, is he a general handyman or?
Well, here's what he's gonna do for me. He's closing up all the gardens.
Okay.
He's gonna put all my deck furniture away, all my beach furniture away. He's gonna fill up my wood pile, and then he's going to take a pickaxe in my driveway and locate the septic system, which has never been located in 20 years.
Really?
We don't know, we have a schematic from town hall that we're gonna look at, and 40 feet here and 60 feet here, but they need to know where it's, we got to mark it in the driveway. Of course, it's been driven over for 20 years,
Sure.
so he's gonna have a little work to do.
No, I welcome.
How's everybody?
Good, how are you doing?
Oh, well, I brought my paper and it took the wind, so. But hope
A ziploc.
that would have been good, but I'm up to my eyebrows in the church for roll call. You know that.
When I did this, each person we moved it from a week before. Oh, I know I'm gonna be here that Tuesday, I know everybody's gonna be, roll, after, maybe some of them were putting my lights out. I was thinking everybody be here.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely day.
Oh,
It's
thank
actually enough.
Get it going.
Yeah, we'll go through this. Reasonably, but
Do I know you? Cindy Ellis? Okay.
she's talking about real estate,
We met,
I'm sure.
yeah. I just don't recognize you from last time, I guess.
Yeah, technically, we're supposed to wear masks, but, that's up to you.
Inside, yeah.
Yes, so that's up to you.
We have our registered posted.
When,
Yeah.
where?
Oh, maybe I'm here.
Here,
Wait, how'd you get them?
got it online.
Oh, okay.
And don't be misled. I know nothing about online. I don't do online.
You never did.
I say number rules. That's where I am.
How did you do
But
it?
there were instructions.
Through what?
The email that Dr. Morgan sent out,
Oh.
the alcohol kind bullets, yeah, but I didn't do that, so that's
We
very good.
we got them for October 4th.
Yeah.
Ten
How
o'clock.
about November?
November.
Yeah.
You're a little late.
Tell me about it.
Oh, I gotta go do that. I'm gonna get home.
Yes, you can go.
Just-
Booster shots.
Booster shots, so that
Right.
the chairs here, where you want to really. If there are too many people for behind, this way at least, probably space. First of all, thank you all for coming, it's certainly lousy there. Okay, that was four. Great. Show up. We're coming, the weather gets scared off.
Well, listen, come on. confused, because I've had all my kids call in this morning, how are you doing? I said, same old, same old.
Yeah.
It's not as if this is the
What's
first time we've ever had a nor'easter.
Oh, I just
I
saw
don't
it.
know.
I
The very, the
The
first,
first two.
well, the first two left here, I just saw the one go, 11:45 go out.
Exactly.
I went out and wanted.
Why do they even bother? Well, that's true, now that they
You're probably right, yeah, I think you're probably right. By the way, Julie, how was that ball game? I love the picture that you said.
Oh, had a good time,
Did
yeah.
you have a good time? It looks like kind of that. Ooh, my nose. That's great.
I had season tickets to the weekend, but I go when it's sunny.
Okay,
Or maybe choose the game I go to, so.
I get that, I get that. All right. Well, let me go ahead and start. We will get your quit. So officially called to order the meeting of the Old River Task Force for October 26, 2021. First thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes of September 1, 2021. There's a motion to approve.
So
Okay, let me, and a second.
I second.
You're making Karen, wonderful.
I just came from Mary's.
Just came.
Oh, I love being part. Margaret, yeah, this is. Well, I'm ready to my way back. No correction, you ready? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. You opposed? Good, okay. Okay. Take two. Okay, you're all right, we're in there.
Chris, I have this, and I'm trying to resist. Oh, bring it to the gallery, and I'm trying not to.
Hey, welcome.
Wow.
It's
Halloween one.
Halloween one, which makes it very special. Okay, we will go minutes and going on to old business. The first thing on the list is a report from Sean on the performance of the Village Solar Power Project.
I think they're as good as our new police chief.
Not to put
What's,
them in the same.
what's
No,
up-
no.
what about the most? Now, you know, I did this, I think I know about this, but put and left the dumpster in the air basin. For the books to all enter there.
Which
So.
we need.
If they aren't looking for a place to put their trash, in tipping cans or anything type. Full cover docks, trash. Go up.
So you had 5 to work with, so where did you put all 5?
Well, they're not all out
You're not all out yet?
there.
What happened?
The guy I had lined up to do that didn't do
Oh,
the required concrete.
well, I wonder if that was. You know what I'm saying? That's frustrating. That's very frustrating.
So,
So are you gonna be able to get it
yes.
done this
Yes,
late fall, early
Yes.
winter, whatever?
yes.
Great.
Um,
Good, keep us up to date, and, so are there any, concerns or anything we need to address, or no?
Just, you know, I'd like to see that inner basin dumpster included That were dumpsters. It's under-
I think once you get them ready, and if you want to, we can send a letter.
I was talking about the dumpster.
Oh,
Their case.
only dumpster, okay. We can put that under the recommendations for
That would be the-
the town. It's going
In
to,
that draft.
yeah, the draft, so bring that up again under the absence. I'm trying to get my pen, I think I switched pens, and it's not working.
I have it.
Oh, that's what I think is how, yeah, I think it's how it was.
So add dumpster.
Add dumpster to,
So it ends up being at the south end of the east end of our park. Put it onto that,
onto the south, or to where the park is, which is right.
east end of the Salem Park.
Okay, it's, that would be the south end of the very, that's now all part of the very water.
Southeast corner.
It'll be southeast corner.
Where we talk about some sort of sculpture or
I'm not sure dumpster is a sculpture, but that's that's probably
We
what
can
we're
paint it or have sculptures painted onto it.
something. It's out of there now, so it's. It did make the enormous difference to the amount of traffic
Right.
all over. the park.
That's exciting.
I think that's a very good thing to put into the report, so yes, we need to do that.
So, all those people, they anchor wrapped up together there. They use town infrastructure and facilities, just like if somebody were to.
Maybe they should pay that.
I agree.
You suggest that?
Certainly, when we get to that, bring it up again. We'll do
The
that.
town has moorings in the, salt pond, why can't town
They have a couple more,
in the Old Harbor?
yes, those are the.
Well, that's fair.
Not that.
Okay.
But I think that, those people would come and they wrap, they wrap up there.
Yeah, huge. We had this discussion back when Chris Willie was harbor master. And he recommended that, they be charged a fee. And they screamed bloody murder about how they contributed to the downtown area, and they shouldn't be charged for blah, 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 and
Just like any district.
the town council sort of fell for it. But I think it's time to bring it up again, and, try to see what happens again. They yelled about how, oh, this is for the poor people who couldn't afford it, anybody could afford a boat to sit out there, is that? I mean, like that, absolutely. So, anyway, that discussion has been held, but not recently, so I think probably it's a good idea to bring it up again. Okay, so just keep us up to date on the, trash cans. My other question, I guess the last one we need to think about, would we want to, ask, for more maybe next year or not?
I think so. I think we should replace a couple of others that, the kind of eyesores, the one in front of the, old harbor. That was. The one in front of, Empire Theater. Perhaps the one next to Rebecca's.
The 2 to 3 replacement. If you all offer it, then I can send, the solar, people a letter of request to the Old Harbor Task Force. We're sending to sort of pass the word along.
So,
I think, the two that are right ahead of, the parking area, were your original. How would you feel about putting the advertising for the solar initiative on those two?
on mine.
I mean, but they're all the same,
I
so,
understand.
but I think that's such a high visibility area, they probably should get the,
I agree.
In green ink.
I think
so, I don't know if we did the,
I have the signs.
you have the signs,
I have the signs for the ones that I have.
I think that would be nice.
All right, so,
So the town applied for a grant for Resource Recovery Corporation. In conjunction with, I believe, the solar initiative. Are going to purchase 3 additional sets that are going to be put. The one at Paul Red Park, one at Heinz Field, and one at.
so that's great, and that does not interfere with what we're trying to do in, because we're only working on the old hardware, so I don't have to select. So that would be fine.
But Sean, you're saying that they need concrete pads to be installed.
Yes. They're both to the
I did not know that.
And so, you know, the idea, I was thinking was that when the others are ready to be placed, that we frame up and have one person go and pour all the pads at the same time. That's the- for- I mean, it's not very large, it's just a little bit larger than the foot.
Getting somebody to do it.
Yes.
It makes sense to do them all at the same time, one trip instead of 4 or 5.
Sure. So,
Well, Turtle is a friendly for all this vet work that we had up at the Nicholas Ball Park, so you don't have other people around. He's, for the freight, not for the pouring. Can that be done by full-time freighters that have to force work?
either way, it's gonna be mixed up, but it's.
I have this walkway in my garden done, and it was done pretty quickly, as opposed to going through somebody with a big mixer and all the other kind of stuff. You didn't use it, I mean, you used a little thing, it wasn't too bad mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this person was going to use it, let me now. His name was Bill.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, good morning.
So that will be done through the main season. Hopefully that will free up people, to be available to
Yes.
work. If the stuff can be done in the next month or so before it gets too cold.
So the one kind of pushing point we had between this thing rolling actually for summer hit us was that the location of the library, you know, the 2 camps that are there, right, the head is across. And that obstructs the people walking by, plus being right at a handicap accessible crosswalk there. Wheelchair couldn't turn, and so I discussed with Kristen from the library, putting the cans kind of into the fence of the library's thing, but, you know, very well done, not just, it's pretty neat, having it be part of the fence structure, and she was very much for that. She has to talk to the board, obviously, to do that, we talked about just doing it. Or doing that.
Sometimes it doesn't go over too well.
We thought, you know,
Actually, I suspect you're probably right, but
they still would like to have it, so we want to include that in that process, and then once again, it's town property, so it's not big issues. But that particular location is going to take some work. That's kind of what initially called the installation. Also,
and,
what was the application?
Okay.
Also, the location.
okay.
Portion turned out as to be. So. Happy.
I can relate to that. Good.
Well, they work very well. And the reason I have any issues with the electronics. Just. I'm very issue. Complicated.
It's a lot easier for your guys, wasn't it?
Sure. And I can monitor issues, you know, I can tell right away when the containers being used for commercial disposal.
Yeah, nice, I like that. Good.
Was there?
A little bit here. When I'm finding the Collins grocery store. It's hit by some of these, something that's usually supposed to have that. Take away the little containers, the little basically. Spot people drop off the program. Voters are the little place. Those containers are all.
Yeah.
Just wonder what these people are thinking.
But if you see something, let me know. I can address it. You don't have to address it yourself. But if you see somebody doing it, you don't have to address it. Let me know. I saw some people from the attraction. Something like.
Great, well, I'm talking about getting a letter to the solar industry people to say a little more sense of the graduates. That would be great. Two more, 2 cents.
Maybe.
I had 2 or 3 down here. So I'll talk to next week when I get time to do this, because I want to give the specific locations, and you can help me with that. I'll let you check the letter, make sure my facts are correct.
Sure, I would feel tentative without asking for more when we have to install the evaluation.
I will explain why.
That's why I don't fall. I think they're important.
I like the way they look, because I've always thought these were a deterrent, based on the aesthetics. These are both nice looking and they operate beautifully. And I had a lot of fun sticking trash.
Right. So, not one more issue, now that we have those, and I've been asking for the town to remove the 4 that are falling down the hill into the parking lot there next to the other 2 that I have, which, took this initiative. And the town has 4 of their plastic ones right next door to them, which they would never remove. So, I'd like to see them removed.
Have you talked to Mike Shea?
Yes, not, push the issue, but I have discussed it.
They're not in use anymore, people don't dump stuff in them.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, because they're similar, they would jump them in the other if
We don't
they
need.
weren't there. So it's more work.
It's not that it's more work, it just looks awful, those cans. Terrible. The wind blows them over, they're on a big plastic like this, and they're slide. Everything bad about those plastic cans is, that particular location, so
Okay.
I'd like to see them removed. If it required another set of cans, another location down in that area. Sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's about 3 times.
Yeah. Listen, we got through the summer, now we can start doing some of the other stuff.
Now, he doesn't have to deal with West Beach Road. So.
Yeah, I know, I'm sure he feels very fortunate about that. Okay, all right, second thing is, engraved bricks. Just so you know, there have been, 20, sold so far. I have a possibility of 3 more coming. They have until the end of the week to get their checks to me. They all assured me the checks are in the mail, but, we'll see. And that'll pretty much finish out the entire, terrace in the park. Well, pretty well finished. These bricks will go around the edge of the park. Turtle kind of redesigned it so it can fit more in like almost making it kind of like a border. That will complete the park, and we will then look for another project if we want to continue stuff. But that's a discussion for another day. Last thing on their old business is the post office box. I don't know whether we want to renew it again. It's $70 per year. We did renew it last year. I did get about 5 pieces of mail. Mostly they were checks that people sent, donations. So I can keep it, or I can have it close it and tell them that any outcome, just go to my mailbox. So I'm open to suggestions as to what you want to do.
Seems to me if you get 5 checks, it would more than cover the cost of,
Oh, yeah, we were at $170.
so I think, I don't know, seems to me if it's a.
Yeah, like all the.
Okay, another one? Okay, then I'll go ahead and pay it, it's due the first of November, so I will get that paid. And I just didn't want to renew it without checking with you all to see how you feel. Also, we decided to do a fundraiser in 2022, that may be useful to have the mailbox.
Yeah.
Okay, committee members, it's that time of year where we talk about, whether or not you want to come back to again for another 2 years. And, so up for renewal is, Karen, Jesse, Julie, Steve, and Catherine. I'm hoping everybody will say yes.
Did I just miss it here? I thought it was on for,
It's a 2-year term.
I thought it was on for 2 years and I feel like it's on the year.
I
Yes, I asked.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So anyway,
I'd stay on except when there's a whole 6 months that I won't make the meetings. 6 months. I don't know if that's a bother.
the committee is large enough that that probably is not a bother, not that I'm recommending that. But if you like staying on, I'd be happy to have you stay and make as many of the meetings, as you can. It's not like, we're not like the planning board or the zoning board where you absolutely have to be there. But, so if that's the case, I'll put yes by your name. Okay, Catherine?
I have a submission, so we want to order the time. I'd be happy to stay on for, I know I do the bricks and all.
Yes, I know you do. I really do not want to lose you. So I'm putting yes down. And again, the idea is to make as many of the meetings as you can. Julie? Sure. Yes. Karen? Sure. Yes, excellent. And I will get a hold of Steve. He was supposed to be here, but something doesn't come up. And I will come back.
Where's that?
I don't know, she and Steve both told me they were coming
She
in.
forgets.
And,
I didn't text her.
she's
so-
back, she's here.
Oh, I talked to her yesterday, and the day before. Yeah. She's got a calendar.
Okay, that's the second thing. We also have a calendar for next year. The group has assigned us the third Wednesday of the month, so does that suit everybody? Not that we don't change it occasionally, because we're going to change it.
Why not Wednesday?
So we can do Tuesdays, right now we're set up for Wednesday, but if you want to do Tuesdays, I don't have any strong feelings as long as this room is open and lunchtime is not usually a problem.
I keep hoping I can help with the food, so Wednesday's not work for me.
Doesn't matter to me. Monday is just the same as the next.
I like the idea of having the same schedule.
Yeah, because then you can put it in the calendar, so we, as I said, if we want to go to the third Tuesday of the month, that's fine, if we want to go to the third Wednesday of the month, that's also fine.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay,
Starting what, January 18th?
this is starting January 18th. I'm gonna give this to you, Joe, because the dates on this were wrong in the first place. So now that you got it, we can do it. Okay. When you get it finished, I will be happy to check it again just to make sure. Okay. Quick reports. For the parks, the last Christmas tree, the lights have been ordered, and the tourism council has been sent a request to pay for it. Usually takes them about 6 weeks by the time I send it, they process it, and get it approved by the board. So we probably-
Hold on.
Okay, there's the answer, thank you. And I will, whether or not we have the food, again, I will talk to Turtle and his group and then talk to Mary Ann and see how the town feels. We'll work that out, I'll let you know. We will have a tree either with or without a fundraiser of food. But as far as the Yardi Park goes, we're still working on ideas for the south end of the park, and I'm just keeping it on here until we come up with some ideas. Now that we know that we might want to have a trash receptacle there, we're gonna want to, you know, think a little bit more about how we want to screen that or not, as the case may be. Plus, what we might want to do with the circle benches, the last bench, you probably noticed is a good place. It does not have its, stone underneath it yet, no stone, but that will come, winter has a chance this fall. And for the Nicholasville Park, the pads, stone pads for the, bicycle racks are done. So if you haven't seen that, go by, it's really nice. It sets it off very nicely. So those things are all underway. As far as plantings go, we voted money for that, for the last time around. Turtle is having a very hard time getting hold of planting, particularly bushes of trees. So with April 26th, I think we probably try to do better, with a better selection of spray.
Still happy to come and split grass.
I would recommend that turtle again.
You've been trying to sell those for a long time, Sharon. No, I split a zillion this year. It just seems silly to buy grass.
Right, absolutely. I would tell them. Okay, the main thing we want to talk about today is the report to the town manager. And we'll have copies of that. I don't have one. You have a Caroline, or is that printer? I don't know why.
Is that an eye test?
Yeah.
Did you talk about the stone like your patch for the as well? Did I miss that?
Yes,
They did?
it's already done.
That's all done. That's all I said.
They're done.
Awesome.
They're in.
Good. Oh, I heard the other thing.
You can walk over.
Right today,
One thing I did notice, this weekend, that I want to, we'll take out, obviously, is that there's ground inspection station back on Chapel.
Yes.
So that was.
Running that,
Oh, Johnny Leone.
decent inspector.
No, but he told Aldo, told me, Leo, right, Leo told me that the town approached him to have an inspection station. Leo wanted to take out some kind of sandwiches or something. And he said, I told Johnny that we should tell that. And it wasn't very polite. But I guess John's decided to run a luxury, it's called luxury car repair. What? It's luxury car repair. You're not gonna get a business here.
It said, I drove by it, this weekend.
He does.
It says inspections.
Yes, it says he's going to do inspections.
It says that, in fact, right above the door.
It says inspection
Inspection
station, yeah. So you can't get your car inspected, so.
That's what it says.
Maybe luxury car means anything after 2015.
I thought he may have just repainted the sign to be there.
Well, I mean, the building looks better, and he's definitely doing a lot of repairs. There's 2 cars in each, car in each bay at all times. So people are using it.
When he went to Quick Time,
He needs
got
space
space
to,
tire last week.
oh, we did.
I don't know.
Oh, you did. Quick Tire is great, but it's also a lot nicer just to drive down Chapel Street. Sure.
It's not having to put a car on the ferry and take it over and bring it back.
Exactly. I've never had a car inspected yet. That we're probably used to do just fine. You guys want to do
So I
that?
think there's an ulterior motive. To get all kinds inspected and all those kinds of processes.
Of course. They pass it on.
I think it's. That's the tire. Tire.
Oh, it is.
No, ulterior.
Ulterior, I just can't believe he's there to fix cars.
Well, I think it's one of his sons that's doing the actual.
I thought maybe somebody in the family was saying, yeah.
It's one of his twins.
Okay. Anyway, I will take that sentence out because obviously there's an inspection station. That'd be appropriate. So anyway, let's go, take a look, just page by page. and see what you want to keep in and what you want to,
Paragraph 2 is, there's a typo.
oh, good.
Traffic continues to be,
I'll find that.
this is in your draft, the draft.
Third word.
Yes.
Let's see, boundaries.
Good, because by the time I read this,
To
A.
Great, thank you.
It's not just electric scooter, it's electric skateboards, it's electric, any of the electric means of conveyance other than electric bikes.
Say that again, where was it?
There's been talk about using rental electric scooters and electric bikes. I mean, I know quite a few of the older island population, and now they electric bikes and want to continue biking, but these bikes are less happy with it.
I saw a lot of electric bikes, and
And
it's usually working pretty well.
And scooters, but the electric scooters I'm less pleased with because,
And they're not wearing helmets.
no,
So, I think that,
and the electric, like the electric skateboards that go in and out like this. That's pretty.
yeah, someone put, I don't know, petition the town to allow. I mean, if everybody used them.
Well, that's just it, everybody did.
Well, I'm not terribly opposed, and I haven't thought it through, but, I went to, Peaks Island. And local people were allowed to have their cars and trucks, but yes. You either use a taxi, you rode a bike, or you had a golf cart.
That's what Purple Island does.
Yeah, and, it would relieve so much of the parking, they only go 25 miles an hour, downhill. Good, and I think they're safer. And a lot less cars around.
But how would you do that with the people renting homes?
Renting what?
Renting homes for the summer? Would you tell them they couldn't bring their car?
I don't know. I mean, I hadn't thought it through, but I just experienced this and it was very pleasant.
Oh, I'm sure it would be, that would be so pleasant
You
here,
know,
right?
instead of mopeds, I think the golf carts are much nicer and much safer and much more stable.
Can you imagine, having all of all parts?
I like John and the only about it, I'm sure he'll.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
So you want me to
There
mention,
definitely needs to be thought going forward. how
they need to do
to
some,
address this. We continue on this path.
Certainly the rental home people are huge offenders of how many cars come here.
Do you think raising the price of the cars for summer months?
I thought that was a great,
Yeah, I mentioned to you yesterday when you were pacing. I think that's the best idea yet, but do you think that would affect the rental people and it would cause them to bring less cars?
Well, the reason that people bring cars is Americans love their cars. When you've got a, Mercedes, whatever, you don't want to leave it for a week or two in the parking lot. So they feel more comfortable bringing their cars.
So they load them.
And they're loaded. So
So do
there's
they
not
need
enough
2 or
parking.
3 cars per house?
I don't think so. I mean,
Right,
we asked,
I'm gonna speak to someone who has a lot of bedrooms and there's often 3 cars.
I know. We asked people to bring their one, but they sometimes have 3 and 4 cars.
But you know, they can all take their car to the beach because we don't charge for parking at the beach. I think, one way to reduce the number of cars, or at least to let them leave it in the home, is for the town to charge for parking at the beach. We could use the income. And that would discourage 3 people going to the beach the same day in 3 different cars.
Yes. I really feel that part of the charm of Long Island is it's the accessible beaches. And to charge for parking, I think just really changes.
I won't put that into, charge for parking. in there, because that's not really the purview or purview. I can mention golf course, because those will be on the streets in downtown area, but, parking for the beach is not really under.
We did talk about putting, suggestions of putting a tax on moped rentals that would go toward, helping out the rescue squad.
As we did last year.
Don't they have that already?
Yeah, we did that last
Yeah,
year.
but it's like, it's per year, and
It's nothing.
it's fitness.
I can move that back in again if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think if someone's willing to pay for those damn things to go around the alley, they could put in, a couple bucks. And that would certainly add up to
Okay,
help people that need money.
okay. And I mentioned the golf carts, is something to investigate. And more information on how it might work on Long Island, which is what we've also suggested for the electric scooters who, electric bikes to invest in. What I saw this summer, they seem to be working pretty well. But I have great reservations about the skateboards, so forth, with all the sand that's on the road.
They move pretty quick, those organized bikes, and people have been, hurt pretty badly. And, you start to do that as part of a rental. Really.
I think it would be one or the other, not both.
And,
I can say that in one.
Yeah.
from a driving standpoint, you're so used to seeing a bicycle and being able to gauge what your time frame is for being able to turn in front of, or these things move at such a steadier, faster clip that it doesn't meet the same parameters that your mind identifies with the bicycle. And I found myself sometimes actually cutting them off and creating a hazard for the person who was on it. Visually, I didn't think that the bicycle would be able to get to me in that amount of time.
Yeah, the good news is, along with you citing that the, new chief of police with his squad has been active to make downtown better, they've also been stopping people a lot for infractions, which was never done before. We might cite that we certainly appreciate that that's going on. And I know that, in general, people feel that that's been very helpful to help, the yahoos that are out there, including kids, but also older people. I don't know how old.
So that's been fantastic having the police force out there. First, the chief comes in and it's, the first thing on his list and does a great job as time goes on. And as assets to punish, you're going to see less and less of that. I would imagine that it just.
Very pessimistic, actually.
Well, so my thought is that we somehow continue to make sure that that level of enforcement, whether it's increased funding for the police department, whether it's suggestions for, but just keeping that dialogue going, that we make sure everybody understands that it was a lot better this year, not just a little bit better, it was a lot better. And it's that presence that really contributed to it. In order to maintain that, keep the chief interested in still doing those kinds of things is,
Well, I think most of people also, I won't say intimidated because I don't think that probably is. But I think that they will, took notice of the police and minded their P's and Q's a lot more because, is it when he would go down in the mornings and watch the first renters, watch out of the train and really get on them if they were doing stuff they shouldn't do. So, maybe take note of that too, that it's so wonderful to have his presence and those of his officers working with it. I mean, I thought that they weren't going to train on weapons anymore.
Me too.
They don't really.
What?
Driving a cab, I mean, the improvement in the way traffic moves downtown is immeasurable. I mean, he's got, you never even had a guy on Water Street until this year.
Yeah, it's great.
You have 4 cops standing around when they're getting off the boat, doing nothing. And it's just unbelievable how the traffic now moves. And people getting off the boat, they know that there's cops on the island. And so their behavior It's a lot better.
That sends a very
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
message.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Well,
it's working. And when you go down Weldon's Way, it's really not a problem, the way it was in prior years.
Depends on how many they're training at one time, I mean,
I go down there every morning in Morgan's Way, and they are trained, and it is a pain. I mean, it's better, but it's still annoying.
still annoying, still annoying.
They're hitting cars that are parked on the side of the road. Still.
And the other thing is, I don't know, is people, all they need is a driver's license to rent those things, right?
Yes.
I mean, 2 times when I went by the summer, stop, both of them, women, get on one of those things and immediately crash and fall over within 2 feet of getting on. Is there anything that if they don't pass their little test, can you then say that they don't get them instead of just saying, okay, now you're fine?
Well, sometimes the people that are renting the mopeds are doing it because they are not physically capable of taking the bike. And they shouldn't be on the moped either.
And is there something that says there can't be a kid that's 5 years old or 8 years old or something leaning on the front of that?
I thought they were talking about that, but I don't.
That's one question I have, because I need it when I see some little kid whose arms don't even go around his parent, hanging out with you.
Well, I think they said I don't recall seeing kids on the mopeds.
I saw.
I did. No, I did, but I felt
Not too
that,
much.
I thought they were passing something that said only one person can moped.
Yeah, well, apparently some of these things couldn't be implemented until the current contract expires. The town has with the moped operators,
Which is this year.
which is this year.
So let's
This year,
reiterate that.
2022.
So they're begun the process to,
Yeah, so let's mention, we mentioned that.
what those negotiations look like.
But Margie, getting back to going in hand, you could put in there, when you put in there how you praise him and everything like that, and say something to the effect, I hope this continues in the years to come. Parentheses, don't slack off. The shore will be bad.
Well, I mean, what can we do as a community to ensure that level?
I think keep praising him and,
Well, I think you have to build it into the structure. Not just say that you need to respond to crimes and to drug and disorder, so things like that. You also have to respond for providing enforcement for vehicles and bicycles. Control the traffic flow that comes with the full car, park. No, you won't have to see police officer.
I think we can make some suggestions. I mean, he escorted the women march. We've never had an escort, never been any marching or anything on the island. They escorted the women's march. There was the or chaperone, whatever the word is. I mean, that's amazing. I think.
You know, that kind of behavior needs to be built into the job description, not just
Yes.
for the chief, but for the overall officers.
I thought the band state was the village hotel.
Yeah, so what?
Yes, yes.
Skateboards in town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they enforce that, but I think they're already there.
Well, this is what I'm hoping is that by putting stuff in this, it will remind, town council to look at some of these items, the things come up for discussion over the winter.
And the parking on Cornet Road, if you did it on one side of the street, you're talking, when you said you allow parking on Cornet Road between Beach and Beach Avenue. Is that what you're talking, just on one side of the road? No, the water side.
I'm putting it for them to look at, I'm not advocating it one way or the other, except we were talking about people needing a place to park, and so we're suggesting they look at some way of parking on Coordinate Road.
Because you have walkers, if
You have a lot of walkers, you have a lot of baby carriages, and bicycles, But there's also the dunes of all the blocked off, which we used to have as a place to park. I don't know whether it should still be blocked off or whether there's some kind of compromise that could be reached.
That's, you're talking about on Champlain's or?
I don't know, on Cornet Road.
Because Champlain's is forest. Down there, there's no, for a clamor or someone wants to use their beach access down there, there is nowhere to park.
Where?
The Champlain's, what we used to call Champlain's, what do they call it now? Champlain's.
But again, that's,
Okay.
that's the place in the town area, because that's where, Purview is.
You're talking about down at the flat stuff.
Well, yeah, down there, there's no place to
They're
park.
closing the
People
whole
wanting
thing off.
Charleston Beach.
So they're
There's no
talking
way.
about opening up the Coast Guard station.
Yes,
Where
all
the
that.
chain link is.
Yes, that's all right.
Allowing parking.
That'd be great.
That would be great. It would work very well.
Okay, back to here.
Okay, sorry.
So, let's, if you don't mind, if we can talk about quickly again about the moped issue and the fact that they're getting to renew this
Right.
agreement.
Yeah, maybe go to
But I
that.
think it might be important that we put our concerns as in support of what the town's initiatives are in that negotiation process. So I'm not comparing to having parking areas for mopeds. Mopeds taking us.
Make a whole space,
They do that in markets too.
and see, if we do, we'll do all over the island together, talking about the downtown area.
And the thing
When I
about-
was in, I forget which island it was, and they have mopeds, this is the Caribbean, and they had designated parking areas for the mopeds. And there were then the designated parking areas for cars, so that the mopeds did not take up space. I thought, oh, I have to bring up that idea from here.
Considering how many mopeds they are, guys, where the hell are they gonna have a moped parking?
I don't know, that's, I did not have an answer.
Well, if you use one parking spot per block, instead of them taking up all of stretch of parking.
So that they are taking together in one spot, and just spread out. over 5 spots.
And you know what, solution to that, put underground parking.
But we don't have a
Why
parking
the
garage.
business has-
Don't mention a
Let's
parking
start
garage.
digging them up.
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing.
I mean,
I think it's a great idea.
I've been trying to, I was timid for the beginning, but I really think that you put down parking is a fundraiser for the town, and it gets rid of all the nonsense down there.
So my thoughts again about the moped issue is that we as the moped task force should send a letter specifically to the town. Specific on their concerns as it has to do with mopeds. That they can use that information. They can also include that letter in their cases that are close to their.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And which raise legitimate concerns as it pertains to our purview as the our task, whether it's parking, whether it's whatever other issues.
What are we, in line with that, because there's a lot of
The
mopeds
training.
that are now parked in front of the little, bar they now have in front of the Macy's. Oh, yeah. Were we gonna check on that, to see if it was legal? Because there's a lot of, that causes a lot of people to buy mopeds
And stop right
and
there.
stop right there, but park all over the place.
Stop for a drink on their way up Spring Street.
Exactly.
Sounds like,
Sorry,
come
but
see
I
us.
don't get up Spring Street very often, so
I don't know.
Me either, me
Some,
either.
some of us live there. But anyway, that to me, I just want to know, especially in that they have big plans, at least for that area. I'd like, I think it's good for them to know that we're at least interested in what it is they want to do. And that was something that just cropped up out of nowhere.
Nothing,
I didn't see any permit for it or any other.
that's something we can ask, we will be inspected. Whether it's legal or not, I have no idea.
And also, what's their provision for parking?
Well, they're going to be trying to plan for it, yes.
Well, it's there, it's an apple back.
Well, but they still, planning and zoning still can weigh in.
Absolutely.
on Parking issues.
What is
And,
it
you
that's
know,
going on?
They put a bar, where the stairs go down to the restaurant. They put a bar over there, there are 6 stools and several tables, and they run it like a little outside bar. Yeah. Cafe, got food.
They have the bar up there.
Yes.
They have an outside bar.
It's outside.
Had they put it on the deck per se? I would
No,
no, It's in the parking lot.
In the parking.
But it's on
It's
the.
not on the parking.
No,
No,
it's
it's-
parking lot.
It's
Basically.
on the sidewalk.
It's on the sidewalk.
Right in the corner of the building.
Correct. Right at the end of the deck, they've erected a bar, which is very well used.
It's now covered, tied up, protected for next year.
I didn't
right.
know what was there.
Drive by sometime and have a sightseeing experience. Okay, one other question, were you comfortable with what I said about the, little, bus is,
Yeah,
was that okay? Last year, when we discussed it, we were a little hesitant about, exactly what position we wanted to take. So, again, I suggested that they continue, with the, travel bus service. And, perhaps consider doing it for free, which
was it well used? Usually ran empty.
It's ran empty on the
No, it's a joke.
I saw
What's that?
The jitney,
Yeah.
it was a joke. I mean, if you got a sign, unfortunately, somehow or another, I didn't get a sign at all. But you lost a day, you lost a half a day
Taxi drivers.
worth of income, because nobody uses it, literally.
I still feel strongly about it. I think it's a positive thing to have.
Yeah.
And I think that there was no advertising on that show.
It was,
There were no
it was advertised every
specific-
week in the paper, it was plenty of that.
Well, but for people that come off the island, when you come to the island, they're not reading the paper. There's not a sign with a designated pickup spot. So, I think it takes a couple of years for signs.
Now, that's
I
incorrect.
agree. To,
The shuttle had a big sign on both sides, okay? The stops were clearly marked, okay? People just didn't use it, that's all. They didn't use it, and you can't expect the cab drivers to give up a half a day's worth of income.
I totally agree, and I think we should allow Rick to provide service.
Well, the alternative was the state was gonna, spend tens of thousands of dollars on buses that would be a real impediment to traffic. And that was the alternative. And the cab drivers decided we'll take care of it ourselves. The problem was nobody ran, nobody used it. But believe me, the shuttle buses were clearly marked and the stations were marked.
They were only used on they were only there weekends.
No, they were there every day.
No, they were only there on weekends in August. I don't know what they did in July, but I didn't start tracking
Believe
it.
me, they were there every day
I
until
see them
Labor Day.
downtown. I did.
On weekends.
Steve, how much was that?
Weekdays, they were weekdays and weekends.
I think
It's a couple of years.
I think it does too. I
Every-
think it's small.
Everyone said everyone takes.
Steve, how much was it? How much was it?
What?
How much was it? Like, 5?
It was relatively cheap. It wasn't cheap if you had a bunch of people, okay?
Too expensive.
But for one person, it was. But I mean, even the employees at Chambliss didn't take it.
Well, it's
And
expensive.
for one person, that was a real savings. They still didn't take it.
In Vermont, they have a bus that's operating like a cow. They call it the mover. And it just runs a whole loop. I don't even think there's a charge for it. And it moves the workers from where they're living to where they're working. It's a great
What about,
thing.
if they
And
put up signs that just say, whatever you decide to call, if it's catchier than jitney, or you call it jitney, just put a big J, so that everybody knows that the J sign is where you can get picked up.
one thought I had was that if we had a jitney style bus, and I would not like to see a big full-size bus, but something smaller. And the town had a weekly pass that you could buy. You get a little wristband, and if it ran around the island, if I was on the west side and my kids wanted to go downtown, and you knew it was safe, they could get on the bus and zip around and have a pass for a week while you're here.
A J pass.
Yeah, people would use it. If you're going around the west side, kids want to go back and forth, it's great. want to go to the beach.
Stop
Would
with the walk
reduce-
around, well,
Yeah, it would reduce the traffic, and the parking. I think it's.
I was making the word, I'll add a weekly pass on to here, and, but I certainly think the price has got to come down, so.
It was.
and Mark stops things.
And,
Well, I think you can't have,
well, like,
no one knows where it stops.
yeah, Mark stops. And actually, I'd like to see around the island, but I agree, it's gonna take a couple of years to get there.
Sure, so how about something like you, you support the chicken service and we look forward to seeing, this forward.
Expand.
Because there's going to be a lot of discussion happening in the county.
Yeah.
What work, what didn't work, that positions. Support.
Don't we have, parking here for employees? Because I remember at the chamber, we told them to park there at the town hall.
They're talking about the school, this past year, and I don't know whether that ever came, to fruition or not. They did here in the school are really the two areas where you could have, people park and use a.
But you need to coordinate with the chicken stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, you're comfortable with that paragraph, so I'll expand it slightly to do that. So we're running, I know people have to get back to work and so forth.
So I have one more issue I want to raise, and that's,
Go ahead.
usually the word tourists, I think the word visitors.
You want me to switch it? Okay, I agree with you, I just was trying to.
understand.
Okay, I'll work with the-
I just think it's a little more, because we're not talking about just any kind of tourists, who visitors, who go to some county. Athletic events.
Jesse, you've been picking on me for that for years, so that's fine. You was a- so that-
It's pretty cool, what is the other town hall shuttle,
Town hall shuttle,
school is down there.
And I see you did put parking garage.
Yeah, it's in there.
And then just above draft here, where it says one other concern raises fall, probably doesn't seem to get last minute ferry reservations that we have.
I had more complaints on that, probably than
Not being
anything I
able to
know.
get reservations, but that's really part of our purview.
Nothing to do with us, it's what we're access. I mean, this area, but
Now, I was trying to work it in, so it's interesting.
I mean, it is concerned, but I don't think that's a part of it.
You know, they were part of the, chamber had a table set outside the show, did you see it?
Yeah,
His information,
did it work?
I don't know.
I don't need it. I didn't see, I tried working.
To the kiosk, maybe more over toward where our parks are. That is manned by some kids that pass out stuff all the time. We could do buttons that kids can purchase, or an adult can purchase for a couple bucks. They're so cheap to make, and it's the kind of thing people pick up. It doesn't cost them anything. It's both a moneymaker for the town as well as relieves the visitor center that is so inundated in the summer.
All
And
right,
advertises all the events that are happening.
well,
And
we've got it.
parking along Cornet Road, I think, was again, that's outside of our. purview.
Okay, that was my other thing. I put it in, but I wondered if you wanted me to leave that in or take Portage Road out. That's really got quite where we're parking on Portage, that's really got quite in our purview.
For example.
I think that
parking
would
along-
be the place we want to focus on.
Okay, fine, I'll take out.
You know, when we're talking about there, and electric cable on Water Street.
Okay, remove Portage. And the other thing you wanted to remove was the interstate.
You can put a little preface that says it's outside our realm of influence, but just a comment. Yes.
It's just interesting how many people have stopped me and complained about having a small emergency, not being able to get on the ferry. And I thought, I don't even know whether people are aware that seems to have been a great problem or not. But you're right, well, the ferries are downtown, so you can argue in that respect, it could be part of our purview. But I can do leave
I
it
don't
all
wait for 45 minutes and talk to somebody. That's pretty incredible to me in this day and age.
I agree about the, ferry reservations getting off for emergencies. That's not our issue, but I think that something could be our issue, is raising the price of, in the summertime. Like you
Oh, yeah,
said,
you know, that would be better, that's definitely, would affect the downtown area, the traffic.
the traffic, if you could raise the prices and people wouldn't
I don't think the raise the price high enough to.
be serving, you know.
I looked at the internet, for Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. They both use the, high rate in the summer and intermediate rate for, what I call the shoulder season. And a much lower rate for the winters.
But only for visitors.
I did not touch anything on the computer ticket, I don't want to touch that.
Right. No, Nantucket, was 8 or 9 years ago, I went over there, ran a trip, it was $200 or $300.
It's quite expensive.
But it's,
Not
well,
that
not
one.
when you're there, you can't get a taxi. I was there recently, I couldn't believe it, we tried to get an Uber, they were gonna charge $300 to go from the downtown area to the airport. Unbelievable, because they can do it, because that's Nantucket.
Unbelievable. Normally, we've got an awful lot about traffic and vehicles.
Yes.
But I would like to see some focus, and I don't know if it's possible or not, what the town is planning, but the sidewalk, the condition of the sidewalks downtown.
Oh, we, yeah.
And
On the very last page, I see sidewalks still need to be repaired, and trash still needs to be removed.
and
That's a direct road that appeared to the third year of growth.
We forgot
But
to
I-
send home.
I think, having more, a good paragraph about that is important. The sidewalks are in portion, and, overburdened merchandise.
And it's getting there
small
now.
to begin with, you barely go to the best, so they're small to begin with, and then you have the merchandise on the areas.
I have one,
But like,
I have one for this year about my hydrangeas.
Those things you gotta cover the back.
Just go back and see how they're nothing, and they're just right.
I don't mind on it at all, but like the quality of the sidewalks, there's lots of kindness.
Yeah, I
I've
got
seen people fall.
to cut back the grasses for the Estes Park. So I said to the Fuji daughter, she.
I wasn't cut my hydrangeas.
The grasses I made, if you're that way, I got it.
Okay. HAYP.
Yes, so he came a few years ago to this group.
Yeah, right.
We
He
all
wants
went
a
to
task
walk
force
down
for
there.
task force. He wants to belong.
Yeah, so we all took a day trip, what we're gonna call it, and we all walked down Water Street and looked at the kind of issues he was concerned about, the condition of sidewalk, and all that stuff. That's what we came, and supported the street, the sidewalk, which I noticed is in there.
You want me to stick it back in again?
I love that. But, it's a greater issue than that. Come Friday afternoon at 4:00, the town road crew is off the clock. And we don't see them again until Monday morning at start 8:00. So,
They very
and there's a number of holidays that fall on Monday in the summer that you don't see them either. So I'm not saying it's the responsibility of the road crew, but I think the town has a burden of responsibility to have some staff available. On the week,
Right,
7 days a week, and not working on mowing outside of town, but concentrating.
The downtown area.
I know we're just old harbor, but as a community, we have to start recognizing the
Well,
harbors.
Then you get the whole issue, John, you find downtown a little bit. And not have it chip.
Little town we go to in Maine, they redid all the sidewalks and they put new lighting there. And they.
Once
Each
there's
one
no above ground,
was-
no above ground electricity.
each light post was, donated, and they had a beautiful flag.
That's very clear.
To sponsor a light.
Wow, Marty, instead of donating benches, got another vote and got donated light posts.
No, but she said that
They
it
have-
was beautiful.
They got plaque at the bottom that say this light was donated, you're the light of my life.
Yep, where is this?
So-and-so.
This is Belgrade Lakes, Maine. And they've got no money, I haven't really got no money to do it. And put these things in and then do sidewalks and planting the trees. But it just made a
What a difference.
What a just beautiful. The other thing, I was in Wilmington, Vermont, a couple weeks ago, and absolutely blown away. It's just a little white spot in the road, and the town there hired somebody. And she, I don't know if the shopkeepers pay or the town chamber of commerce does it, but she, does all of the baskets, window boxes, et cetera, in a unified way on the whole street, and it just about knocked your sides.
And if you were driving around with orange flowers outside across the street from it, you can't hurt it.
But it's just, it makes such a big difference, if you were driving down Route 9, you just keep on going through this little Vermont town, but you would put the brakes on when you saw how gorgeous the flowers were.
In the summer here, it's so over. Everybody
Burdened
doing
with
their own
people,
thing.
yeah.
Just
Where
the
would you
people-
pick this?
No, I'm talking about just the overall clutter that happens on Water Street here in the summer, everybody's using different. And it's just, this time of the year, when everything's brought back in, it's a beautiful little street, it's has some great art, it is. And, why that goes away in the summertime, I can understand what you're saying, it needs to be more uniform.
Maybe that's an actual question asked in the letter.
It doesn't necessarily have to be uniformly having all the same plans.
Oh, no, it was
but the
all
idea
different plans, but she had this.
I can't agree more with moving the stuff people are selling inside and not out.
We can try that.
Yes,
Well, I think they're continuing to reiterate it.
or have something outside that's something very small, not huge display of clutter.
Well, hanging up against the building like what Sunday does, is fine. But the six, you can't walk one way out here. No, she's got a bench out there. She is the one, and I love her. But she's the one that nobody wants to hurt because, everybody likes Mary. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's great.
it's cool looking.
Well, it's tasteful, but it takes a.
People have to walk single file and then the street there, yeah, that's really annoying.
It does get cluttered out. All that.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody has to put out an open sign or a flag.
Oh, I know, I hate those. I hate
Because
those. We're open.
Everybody's open, everybody's open.
I know, that's trying to
What's your
off
flag,
season,
what's
in
your
season.
flag gonna do in the summer? Just,
I know you mentioned it, but I do think the visitor center needs to be. The visitor center is mentioned, but it really needs, we need to back monitor the video, it's just,
Got that in
yeah,
the letter.
I just think that's so important that we're.
If we're gonna do something.
Ed Bears is really good at spearheading conversations and they,
Yeah.
and they ended with him unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I wish you'd stay.
so before you call it quits, I want to remind you that I've always been in support of burying the power lines downtown. And I thought that was the original reason that this organization was.
It was one of the original reasons, yes, it was. And when they ran away and died, we sort of stopped because we had no money.
Now we have to get two telephone poles next to each other, the old one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unreasonable for us to continue to look for avenues or request the town to look for avenues to bury those lines.
Okay.
I think.
And I think Jeff Wright is very fortunate.
Oh, he's great.
But then what about Verizon? I mean,
It's
all
all
of this.
It's all over there.
Because.
Internet.
Okay,
It's not an unachievable thing.
I think you can make it up. Leave something for next year. Okay, the last thing on the agenda is there anything you'd like to ask for discussion for next meeting?
More of the same.
Now, my next question for you is, you want me to let you take a look at the last draft, the last version, if we need another couple weeks?
Yes,
Yes, sure. Okay, so I will rewrite some of this and, send it, and let you to look at it, and then we'll have a quick meeting, maybe a couple weeks from now. Does that seem to,
The last thing is, we never get together socially, I understand the pandemic and all that and stuff, but if people are amenable, at Christmas time, I'm more than happy to host something on the bill for all of us to have a libation and a snack to say.
well, sure, I think that's a lovely idea, I will, on behalf of the group, I will accept. It's a lot.
Marky, I don't know if I can do it, but if I say I'll do it, maybe I'll actually do it. Would it be appropriate if I say I'll try to corral Jeff Wright to ask some specific questions about underground utilities and see if I can get a report from him, some feedback?
That would be
What
good.
it would be.
I nominate Cindy. Today, because he thinks there's gonna be $7 an hour.
No, not today.
Thank you.
And then I'll.
So this is, and I think the ongoing project for several months, if you can go to research or talk to the town manager, you know, it doesn't happen as rapidly as what we like. That's what.
But if we at least start to get some information.
And while you're at it, to remind them, as you talk about Chapel Street, the lighting and so forth, just so you know, we have had a conversation with him, with Mary Ann several months ago.
He gets invited to the Christmas party, they give him a glass.
What is that? I will also reward the bride.
Exactly, right away.
So Karen, sometime in the next several weeks, let's see what I talk about. Yes, we can do.
Lisa, you know, to